Hi, my name's Norm. I'm your host for RVing with Bear and Friends. I'd like to introduce you to my trailer, Bear. Bear is a 2017 Tracer 290 Air that I bought this last spring, new to me. And I've been doing lots of work on it, making it more my trailer than anyone else's trailer, and of course, more than the last owner's trailer. Bear is just over 32 feet long from hitch to rear bumper and weighs in about 5,700 pounds empty, about another 1,700 pounds more with usable cargo load. I don't actually bring all my worldly belongings with me when I travel with Bear. Bear got its name from the license plate. I like to have fun with personalized license plates, and it started out with just Bear snacks. And from there, we're just the snacks that feed Bear, so the license plate kind of made the name. This is Bear's floor layout. It's really a great couples trailer. It can sleep more than two. It has a hide-a-bed sofa and a dinette that make into beds, but it's more to entertain other people and send them home at night. Hi, and welcome to the inside of Bear. We have inside Bear quite a bit of space. The slide is about 13 and a half feet and includes the dinette and the hide-a-bed sofa, and it's a true hide-a-bed sofa with a fold-out frame. We've got windows all the way around the slide for really good cross-ventilation, along with across the back. So we move a lot of air in here when needed. We have two recliners that are quite comfy, and a kitchen sink that's, if I can open this for you, is a rather large open one bay sink with the pull-out sprayer. The stovetop, the metal cover that usually folds back, is missing. It was missing when I bought this, so I bought the Camco cutting board with the feet that lock into the grate for the grill of the stovetop, which works out really nice. I also installed this stone veneer backsplash that I found, I think, at Lowe's. It was a self-adhesive, and it's supposedly made of real stone, but there's not a whole heck of a lot there. The fridge was originally a wood finish. It had a picture of wood in it, or on it rather, the paneling that inserts. The previous owner, or one of the previous owners, had accidentally stuck something to the freezer door, and it peeled the picture of wood off the paneling. So I did a fake stainless steel finish to it. My TV, originally this was a 32-inch television, 110 volt. It was on a fixed mounting bracket. I bought this 40-inch television that's 12 volt, because there is a 12 volt power port behind, and it is on a swinging arm locking bracket for RVs. Which makes it quite nice. And quite nice to view from back in the recliner area. Above the slide, we've got some really nice wood accents, crown molding looking trim. It's great, but I will tell you, it is one heck of a head knocker. It will knock you senseless on especially that corner right there when you go leaning in and out. Let's go have a look at the bathroom. Oh, in the bathroom we've got lots of leg room for the royal throne spot. We've got sink with a medicine cabinet. And we've got a shower, which unfortunately is kind of hard to get a big enough view on it. Let me open that for you. The shower also doubles as the cat's bathroom. Coco, the RV adventure cat, rides with us everywhere, so she needs her space too. The ceiling is quite tall in here. I'm 6'1", and this doesn't have a dome. This just has a regular fan vent in it, and my head does not touch the ceiling. I did add in the Oxygenics shower head, which is really, really nice. It does a great job. We have 2 tiers of storage, linen storage in the bathroom, which is great, except for the angled wall that's behind the TV is also the angled wall inside the cupboard. But it sure beats not having it. Oh, let's go to the bedroom. Of course, if you're going to have a trailer named Bear, you might as well have a little bit of bear accents inside. We have a queen-size bed. It's a camp queen. It's a little short. We're going to replace the mattress eventually, but it's still pretty darn comfy. We have a hanging closet on both sides, plus overhead cabinetry for storage. And as I come around the other side of the bed, see if I can show this. We have a 32-inch television. It's 110 volt, and unfortunately there's not a 12-volt power source for that, or I would have replaced that TV with a 12-volt TV also. I've actually never used this TV outside of when I'm plugged in at home, just because that's where I usually have 110 volts, generally speaking. We dry camp at a lot of the state campgrounds and federal campgrounds, which have spots but no electricity. One of the projects I just did this fall is I installed a dimmer switch. Hopefully this can focus on that. And don't mind my phone. It actually acts as the monitor for my camera. But I replaced a regular rocker switch with the dimmer switch, and I needed a bezel to go behind it. I couldn't find what I needed, so I designed and 3D printed this bezel that goes behind and actually raises the back side of the box for the switch out. There's some framework in behind there, and I couldn't recess it all the way into the wall, so I needed the depth. I also needed to hide the screw holes from the former switch, which was taller than this one is. Anyways, so it's quite a lot of range from inside the bedroom all the way back to the back living area. We've just finished winterizing, so we're getting ready to put the trailer away for the season. All the pipes have been blown dry. Antifreeze has been put in where it needs to be put in, and we're pretty much done with the trailer for the season. We'll be looking forward to next spring, going out and camping and having more adventures. One of the things I forgot to show off, one of my hobbies is 3D printing, and the light for the range hood was basically a 12-volt peanut plug. It was just peanut bulb, I should say. It was very anemic. It didn't make very much light at all. So I went and I printed up a grid. And it's hard to see because I'm just filming into the light, but I 3D printed a card that I could put 12-volt LED strips on and wire in series to make something that would make a lot more light than this was ever going to have. And it actually makes it nice for when you're cooking or just having one light on in the room at night. That lights up everything. But one of many projects, and also while I'm on 3D projects, I found this pattern on Thingiverse and thought, well, Bear needs a name plaque, and there it is. I started the print in a copper color, and then I changed the filaments and went to the silver color to get all the raised framework and the letters and the paw print. But yeah, 3D printing makes a lot of really neat stuff for a camper. One of my biggest projects I've done since I've owned the trailer is I've installed a lithium battery bank. I had to do a little hunting for deals on the batteries. These are Lion Energy UT1300 batteries They're 105 amp hours a piece for a total of 420 amp hours. And I wish I would have known I had room for one more in there. If I can find another deal on another matching battery, I may install a 5th battery just for capacity. But so far I've installed this Victron 12 volt to 12 volt 18 amp charge controller. This takes the energy from the truck and monitors it and feeds it to the trailer and prevents it from overdrawing the alternator. And the reason I only went with 18 amp is the circuit's got a 20 amp fuse on it coming from the truck. I didn't want to rewire everything coming from the truck back and doing the bigger power draws. It's just not something I wanted to get into. And if I change the truck, then I'm back to square one anyways. So the truck usually doesn't put out more than 6, 7, 8 amps at best. And I've seen just over 14 volts coming off of the truck when the battery's topped. But anyways, I've got a bunch of circuit breakers in here for the power, bus bars. I've got a Renogy 2000 watt inverter to make 120 volt AC electricity from the 12 volt DC. I installed a couple of independent outlets on the inverter and a junction box. I've got a piece of Romex that runs to the rear of the camper back by the door and provides another outlet back there. I may change some of how I've done that. I found a throw switch box, an automatic throw box, and I may put 2 circuits on there, and I have a breaker box that I can make it so I can switch between what I already have and run a line into the throw switch, which would go into the power for the camper. And then all I would have to do is turn off the AC to the charge controller for the batteries and the circuit breaker for the refrigerator to keep those on 12 volt, or keep everything on 12 volt, and not be trying to charge the batteries from the batteries through the inverter and just make it a circle of losing more energy. Anyways, yeah, this is something I'll probably do another story on later. Not only did I put outlets in, it's kind of hard to see, but in the corner on each side, I also put in some 12 volt USB ports in the corners. Next to the outlets, I also put some breathing ports in there because the inverter does generate some heat. The batteries could generate heat, of which I've got to put the temperature checker on, the temperature thermometer for the Victron Smart Shunt. This tells me how much power is coming out of the battery, going into the battery, what the state of charge is. It's a nifty little gizmo there. All this stuff talks Bluetooth to my truck, or to my phone rather. I am going to be adding solar to this. I have a Victron charge controller for the solar panels I've bought. I've got 4 Renogy 175 watt solar panels for a total of 700 watts if I have a perfect day of weather, which I never have, and a lot of dry camping under trees. But anyways, yeah, I'll do a little better story on this later. This is just something I like to show off because, man, lithium batteries have been a total game changer compared to the lead acid batteries that used to sit out on the tongue. Another of my upgrades was the side view and rear view cameras, halo view cameras that I picked up off of Amazon. I have a side view camera on each side, and then of course your regular rear view camera on the back. They all run off of the marker lights. Some of my other upgrades include a new folding handrail with a longer reach to the ground. I also installed electronic keypad door latch so that we don't have to use the keys. And I put carpet kits on the steps, which is just awesome. You wouldn't think you'd like that until you have it. They're pretty simple to go on. They just wrap around and are held on by springs, and I haven't had a problem yet. I've also upgraded the tires to Goodyear Endurance tires. They were hard to get here in Alaska, but I got them. And I also put a Time-Mate TPMS system on to track the tires and watch the pressure. And of course, gotta have a spare tire cover, because can't be bare without more bare. I also installed a jumper cable Anderson plug connector kit on the front to give me more options with energy. I can either jump start something, jump start the trailer without the batteries in. I can do quite a bit with that. Some of my upgrades to the hitch department was a second left-hand sway control bar. I found a lot of references to if your trailer's over 27 or 29 feet long that you may want to add a second sway bar to complete the triangle. I also added quick release kits for the rear stabilizer jacks. I may add them to the front also, but this helps with rear clearance issues because the original mounts had it hanging very low. The last owner upgraded to 30-pound bottles on the propane, which is rather nice because it gives you basically one extra tank's worth of capacity on the propane. Another thing I did when I moved the batteries inside was added this toolbox to the outside where the batteries used to live to carry the chocks and my hose that I use for the black and gray tank flushes if I ever have to use a hose for that, and all my little wood blocks. Just makes a nice convenient place, not in the pass-through. It helps keep things tidied up. I also added a secondary gate valve, which allows me to back flush after I drain the black tank, to back flush from the gray tank into the black tank water, and then drain it back out again. And my tow rig, my 2013 Silverado, you can see I've got the weight distribution hitch on with the dual sway control bar mounts, and yes, I have a nerdy license plate on my truck too. And Flowmaster exhaust. Gotta let them know when it downshifts going up the pass. Makes a heck of a lot of noise. This is at the storage unit I use in the summertime, which is very convenient to where I live and close to home. Well, thank you for watching and meeting Bear. Remember, feed the bears. We're just snacks.